Hey guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter's Reality TV Recaps and Opinions, better known as, and that's my opinion, with Peter Mon. And today, we're going to talk about part one of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion, and I am exhausted. That reunion, part one, put me through it. I have a few issues to discuss, first of all, before we get into this. As someone that is currently trying to catch up on Vanderpump Rules before the new season premieres on January 30th, I am loving binge watching a reality show and then getting to watch all parts of the reunion at once, okay? This having to wait 2 and 3 weeks to see the reunion unfold, I am so over it. In fact, like 3 of my friends last night, we were like texting while we were watching the reunion, and all 3 of them were like, oh my God, I cannot believe that we have to wait till next week to see what happens next. And I feel the same way. But let's talk about what happened in part one of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion. A lot of things happened, and I also want to reference 2 of my favorite online Bravo fan accounts, because they are accounts that I am like diehard fans of. I follow, I get all my information, I get all of my news from them, and so I want to talk about them in a second, especially since a huge part of the end of this season of Salt Lake City, as well as the reunion, is devoted to allegedly Monica's, we don't know yet. She said 6 people are involved, but they're saying there's an investigation going on and it's just her, of Reality Von Tease, which was a trolling account about the Housewives. So, I wanted to reference these 2 accounts, which are not trolling accounts. They just give out the information, and I love them, and I adore them. And I wanted to see what you, the people out there, had to say about the reunion, because both of these accounts have posted several posts today about the reunion from last night through today. So I want to talk about that in a second. The first thing I want to say is, I have a feeling that there's going to be some kind of like pity story of Monica, of why she started this account and all this kind of stuff. I mean, she's already playing it off like her goal, her main intention was to take down Jen Shaw, yada, 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 and that's why she started the account, whatever. But then she was exposing these other people, because in the trailer for the reunion, Andy says to her, or says to the other the housewives, says to them, do you feel differently about Monica now as you did and compared to when you walked into the reunion today? So I have to feel that something comes out in the reunion that explains Monica doing this troll account and things like that. Here's the deal, okay? And I'm just going to break it down for exactly how I feel about it. And, you know, I've thought a lot about it since I made my video, what was that, yesterday or whatever, talking about the finale and all this kind of stuff. I talk a lot on this channel, and I talk a lot about it on my other channels, about what makes good reality TV and who is somebody that is a good person, okay? I don't believe that somebody that makes great reality TV is necessarily the greatest person in the entire world. And I want to make that very, very clear before I get into this, okay? For example, I think that this season without Monica would have been extremely boring. We would never have seen the greatest finale in the history of all Housewives, period, in the story, okay? We would never have seen that without Monica and her storyline and her having this troll account, right? Monica makes for great television. There are a lot of housewives who are not necessarily fantastic people that make for great television. That does not make them really good-hearted, kind people, okay? That being said, I don't know about you, but I don't necessarily come to the Housewives. I'm just being real about this, okay? I don't necessarily come to the Housewives to see everybody get along and whatever. In fact, for me, when there's a couple episodes in a row where everybody's just, you know, getting along and everybody's nice and there's no, like, Sprinter van arguments. I'm talking about on any franchise of any season of any town, okay? Where there's no Sprinter van arguments, nobody's fighting on a trip, nobody's flipping tables or throwing drinks at dinners, there's no arguments, there's no back talk, there's no behind-the-scenes talk, there's no, you know, backstabbing, all that kind of stuff. Then the reality is, why are we watching the Housewives? And I think that it kind of begs this question of us on the other side. I'm being completely honest, okay, about this. It begs the question then, why do we watch The Housewives? Because I think it's very easy to watch it. Like, I'm thinking back about, this season of the most recent season of Orange County, where Shannon Bedore is passing judgment on Gina about, her past DUI and things like that and whatever. And, it's very easy to sit there and be like, how dare Shannon and all this kind of stuff. And then Shannon, after the show wraps, she herself, has the same situation happen. And then people are very sympathetic for Shannon. Other people are coming for her and whatever. And so I think it's this dichotomy that those of us that love The Housewives, and I think it's different for The Housewives versus any other reality show out there. I really do believe this. It's those of us out there that are equal parts ate up with drama, but equal parts yearning for the goodness and the kindness and the compassion of people too, right? Which is why I think when you find a housewife, that's Big Brother. When you find a housewife, okay, that can in one moment be learning and growing and changing and evolving, but also be shady boots down the next second, I think it's easy to fall in love with that person. And for example, like, a lot of people have asked me, because they know I love Beverly Hills. It's not my favorite franchise, but I do love Beverly Hills. This season's been a little bit boring, and I think part of it is because Erica has really changed and grown and things like that. We were just catching up on it last night. Was it last night? It was last night. We were catching up on Beverly Hills I think it was last night, maybe the night before. We were catching up on it, and it was the scene where Denise just comes so hard for Erica, right? Well, Erica's like changing and growing. She's not trying to like pick fights with them, and she even says that for Lent, she's giving up arguing with them, right? But like, Denise is like to the point of being ruthless with her. And this is just, like I said, my opinion over here on this channel, right? And then Denise, like, she keeps on coming at Erica, and Erica's like, okay, but that's not how it was. It's not how it went down. They're showing clips in the show to prove that Erica is actually right and that what Denise is saying is not true, and that's not how it went. Sutton is saying, I was at that dinner. That's not how it went, okay? That, Denise is saying that Erica's having these very, sexualized conversations, and Erica's like, Denise, you were having the same conversations. No, I wasn't. They show clips. Denise was having the same conversations. And so finally, Erica has had enough, all right? And she just starts coming at Denise back at her. Now, do I think that some of the things that she said might have crossed a line? I think they probably crossed a line. Do I think that they were well-deserved? Absolutely, I do. I think she poked that bear of Erica Jane enough, and Erica was like, I've had it. I'm tired of your lies. I'm tired of you coming on here trying to be relevant. And to me, in all honesty, when all these housewives, all they try to do anymore is just market and push their own businesses, the reason why Denise Richards has returned to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and they are making such a significant point of talking about her OnlyFans, is to sell her OnlyFans. I wouldn't be surprised if I haven't even looked, okay? But they keep on talking about this $7.99 price point if she hasn't upped it since she's back on Beverly Hills, because more people are probably looking in and buying her OnlyFans, okay? So Denise done poked the bear of Erica Jane. Now, Erica Jane is somebody that I have enjoyed watching growing and changing, apologizing, making amends for, right? But I also like the drama of Erica Jane a little bit. Not when she's talking about the victims and those kinds of things. I think that that was ruthless, and I think that that was uncalled for, and I think that she was completely unaware in that situation. But this season, I think we've seen a different Erica Jane, all right? That being said, I want a little bit of drama from Erica Jane, okay? Like, Crystal could bore a snake. I don't know why they keep on having Crystal on Beverly Hills. She offers nothing to the show. I think she is so boring. She says everything in the diary room, but she won't say anything. And in fact, they even bring it up as a point because production poses these conversations to them. So when she's sitting there with her husband and she's having dinner with him, she says to him, like, the women want me to speak up. Well, she's speaking up in the diary rooms, but she won't speak to the women. So, to me, she brings nothing to the show, right? I want to see a little bit of drama if I'm going to watch The Housewives. Monica definitely brought the drama. Do I think that the season of Salt Lake City would not have been as good if Monica would have not have been on it? We will never know, because Monica was on it, and the storyline went with Monica. If Monica hadn't been on it, who's to say that one of these other women wouldn't have been exposed for something huge, right? That storyline's going to come the next season. You don't know. Like, I think that's the other thing, is it's like, we come from an era of like The Hills and things like that was so scripted that when you fall into the Housewives, it's like whatever comes up is what comes up, okay? It's like that whole Jen Shah situation was not scripted, right? So who's to say what would have been found out, what would have been exposed if Monica had never been there? Some of those women might be very thankful that Monica was there, because if it wasn't for Monica and her storyline, one of their stories that they don't want exposed could have been exposed. We don't know that because Monica was there. And Monica did carry the season. And without a doubt, you can't say that she didn't. She was the main factor that was splitting the entire group across the board, right? And so I think that Monica makes for good television. A lot of people are saying that they need to bring her back for another season and whatever. I do not understand. I think that what she did by having this trolling account and attempting to ruin these women's lives over exposing their secrets, bringing out lies against them and things like that, I'm not really sure how Bravo would have her on another season. If they have her on another season, to be honest with you, I am not so sure that Bravo isn't so, like, Atlanta is not doing great, okay? I'm not so sure that they are not so hurting for the ratings that they wouldn't have Monica on for that reason alone. But I also think that we would see some people step down. I think Meredith would step off the show. I think she would say, I'm not doing this anymore. I think we would see some other people step off. I don't think Lisa Barlow would, because I think Lisa Barlow needs the show too much. I don't think some of the other women would. I don't think Angie K would. I don't think I don't think Heather would probably step off the show either. But I think that we would see, I think Meredith would probably step off the show. She'd say, I'm going to disengage. I'm not doing this anymore. But, like I said, I don't know what's going to come out in the rest of the reunion. I can't imagine Bravo having her back on the show. In fact, one of the accounts that I want to talk about, so the two accounts I want to talk about on Instagram are The Real Housewives Zones and Queens of Bravo, which I will try to link below if I remember. They are two of my favorite Bravo fan accounts that they show all the news and everything that needs to go on. They are not troll accounts. They are not cruel. They are not mean. And I love everything that they post on there. Well, I mean, it's all just like tea and gossip about stuff that comes out about the show or after the show and things like that. But in the part where, I need to make sure I turn this down, in the part where Monica in the reunion is talking about what she sent in for her audition, the email that she sent into casting, they posted on here, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Monica said she emailed casting and said, my name is Monica Fowler and your show sucks and your ratings are SHI toot and it's going to get canceled because you don't have the right cast. Monica's actual email to casting, which they showed in the show last night, said, reaching out in regards to your casting call. Would love more information on what needs to be done on how to move forward. You guys need a feisty, ex-commuted Latina on the show immediately. I'm your girl. What's interesting about this is that a lot of different sites, I think including this one, was saying if you looked at Andy's face and they compared it to when Carol from The Real Housewives of New York, let me turn down my great editing and my lighting. When Carol from New York challenged Andy and challenged production, she was off the show after that. So what they're saying is in this moment when they brought it up that the show would not exist without Monica was when Monica signed basically her exit papers. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, right? But I don't think that we would know how well Salt Lake City would have done without Monica being there until we try another season without Monica, What's interesting to me about this is I remember watching a Watch What Happens Live, and I meant to go in and see who said this before it came on, but I believe it was maybe Mary, which Mary's in the next part of the reunion. Didn't Andy ask Mary, why she decided to come back, or I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was some other franchise. Maybe it was Tamara, but I don't think it was. I think it was somebody from Salt Lake City, and I think it was Mary that said something to the effect of the reason they came back was because the show was boring without her. So wasn't that basically what Monica was saying and the same thing? And it looks like Mary is going to defend Monica, which is, would that be on brand for Mary to defend Monica? 100% it would be on brand for Mary to defend Monica. But Mary probably sat back and ate her popcorn, was reading these troll accounts. She probably lived for it. So was I surprised about the reunion? No, I wasn't. There was a part of me that thought that Monica might come out I will say this, and listen, I know I'm going to get eaten alive for this. The two people that looked absolutely the most beautiful in the show were Monica and Angie K. I thought they looked unbelievable in the show. I thought some of the outfits were real miss. Did they literally just step off the beach from Bermuda? Because some of their hairdos, back in a ponytail, looked like they just stepped off the beach. I didn't love their dresses. I thought Lisa Barlow's dress was pretty. Other than that, I just wasn't really that impressed. there was a part of me that thought that Monica might come on very apologetic, very demure, trying to save her spot on the show. I think she kind of knew. She either knows that she's going to be cast in the next season and she already knows that's solidified, or so she can do whatever she wants to do and say whatever she wants to say on this reunion, or she knows that she is a writer, or she knows that she is a one and done and she had nothing to lose. And if that's the case, that she knows she has nothing to lose, then we better get ready because there's going to be a lot come out in part 2 and 3. Because to be honest with you, I didn't feel like a lot came out in part 1. I mean, the thing is, I think, for me, I was constantly watching Monica to see what her facial expressions were because they were so snarky. Everybody would say something and she'd look at him. It's like, there was, hold on a second, she says this on there when she refers to Angie K, because Angie K speaks up, and she says, hold on, maybe, this is from the Real Housewives zone, sorry, from the Queens of Bravo. It's when she refers to Angie K as, she says, why are you talking bench warming, B-I-T-C-H, shut up, this doesn't even involve you, just like most of the season. Which is an interesting take, and a lot of people were saying that Monica had the best shade and whatever. Well, that's kind of really all she has, honestly, is really good shade. And, you know, I don't know that her catchphrases and her shade are going to last her for another couple of seasons. I think that people want to see redemption, they want to see change and things like that in the characters that they watch on reality TV. It's like going into Vanderpump Rules. I think a lot of people are going to be watching very, very closely how Sandoval carries this next season and what he does and how he handles people's criticism. That will have a lot to do with him being on the show down the road, his storyline, not him being on the show, I think they'll keep him on the show, but his storylines in the show and things like that. That will have a lot to do with it, okay? Whether or not how Monica handles the rest of the reunion might have a lot to do with whether or not she continues to stay on the show or not, you know? And it also might be, I mean, Heather said there's an investigation going on about this reality Von Teese case, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. I was kind of surprised that out of the gate, that Monica was, well, first of all, Monica was very prepared for this reunion. She came out, I mean, they all were very prepared. Meredith had her receipts and stuff like that. But Monica was just sitting there, I mean, very calm, very collected, and just had one shady thing to say after another, put them in their places. She didn't back down. To be honest with you, I thought she would stay silent a little bit. I thought she would be a little demure. The fact that she came right out of the gate, I thought, oh, she feels like she has nothing to lose. So she's going to come hard for these women. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens in part 2 and 3. I didn't think that it was as climactic as I thought it was going to be. So I wanted to read you guys some of the comments because the majority of these comments on these sites are about Monica and things like that. So hold on just a second. Over here, this is from the Housewives zone, and it says, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Season 4 ended with a dramatic bang as ratings for the finale reveal an audience of 2 million viewers tuned into the climactic ending across all platforms over the course of 3 days, making it the most watched episode of the series since the first episode of Season 1, which aired on November 11th. Of the 2 million views, it goes in here and talks about the views, and it says thoughts. And so I thought that we would read some of the comments. Somebody said, I really hope Angie is not fired. She contributed enough to remain for the next season. Yes, Monica, thanks to her and Mary, I'd say let Monica bring a friend to the show to have her back. Somebody said, thanks to Monica. Monica gave the show all of its spice. They must keep her for next season. I love the 4 core, but they couldn't achieve the success in a whole 3 seasons. Season 4's ratings are thanks to Monica, Angie, and Mary. I don't know how much Mary had a lot to do with this season. A few jokes here and there. I do think it's interesting that it's like some people are protected. Like Mary's able to come back as a friend. Like this never happened to Marisol on Miami. I want to make this very, very clear. When Marisol came back onto Miami, she was asked many, many times about her past behaviors. Mary was able to come back as a friend and was never asked anything about her church, was never asked anything about the money, was never asked anything about that. The same was not expected of Marisol in Miami, and I think it's a complete double standard. And I think that Mary said, if I'm going to come back on the show, you're not going to ask me anything about this. And in fact, on Watch What Happens Live, Andy asked her some questions about the church, and she really wouldn't answer them at all, okay? And I think if you're going to come on a show and you're not going to be 100%, then you shouldn't be allowed on the show. And I don't care how good her catchphrases are. You know, if you're going to be on the show, then you need to be on the show, right? I don't think she added that much to it. So anyway, somebody said if Bravo gets rid of Monica, they are shooting themselves in the foot. Somebody said thanks to Monica, and all that's because of Monica. Thank you, Monica. You deserve that paycheck, girl. The rest of this snooze, girls. Bye. Welcome, Monica. And so all these people are saying, somebody says Monica back with a big raise. All of these people are saying, you know, thank you for Monica. Monica definitely coming back after those ratings. Well, I guess Monica did what she wanted, brought those ratings right up. Thanks, Monica, for this. I mean, all these people on here are singing the praises of Monica. Now, I want to go over to the other site, the Queens of Bravo, and I want to see what they have to say about Monica on here. Let's read the one where it says they emailed the cast. Let's read what some of the comments are about this. Unpopular opinion, Monica should get another season because we need to see the fallout of this. Let's see what the replies are on this one. Somebody said, hard agree. I want them to interview her ex-husband and brother-in-law and sister-in-law, or maybe they can make her sister-in-law a housewife. That could be fun. I think that's boring. Pretty sure it's the most popular opinion by now. Without her, there will be no storylines to follow up with, and that show will sink faster than season 3. Mary said she'd definitely film with her. But Mary's not, she's a friend. Who cares what Mary has to say? This is why she can't be on the show. She tries too hard. Everything is performative. I can't take her seriously. Monica is going to be the greatest one and done of all time. Hold on a second. Why is it not letting me pull up these comments? Okay. The thing to me... Oh, wait. This person says, the thing to me that is always so comical to me is that the ladies, the audience, and Andy act like being on these shows is such an honor. This is so true, though. It's a reality show. It's not saving lives. She clearly was exaggerating what she said to be sassy. The show did need her because it did suck last year. Andy lives in this bubble where he thinks all these women should just bend over backwards with gratitude to be on this prestigious platform. It's never that serious. If she's fired, the show will suck once again like it did last year, which majority of people said, let's not rewrite history. There are 30 comments on this. Hold on a second. Why is it not letting me go up? Oh, here it goes. Okay, let's read. Somebody said she's so good though. She wasn't wrong. Okay. Somebody said, you are so right. Last season was so boring that I stopped watching. I didn't stop watching last year. I thought last season was interesting. It's hard to understand anyone defending or wanting an internet troll in a housewife show and saying that means that those don't think the show saves lives. She's a hypocrite exhibiting the exact hyperbole she's accusing others of. I absolutely agree. I mean, the fact that Monica had this troll account and was on the show, but basically is accusing other people, I mean, it completely stinks of hypocrisy, which in all honesty is literally the definition of most of these internet trolls anyway. But I think it's so true, you know? I mean, I like to see some change if she's going to do that. So anyway, I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I mean, does Monica deserve another season? It will be interesting to see, because if this were truly not a reality show where they're getting a paycheck, and this was just 4 or 5 women that were friends, and this happened to their friend group, none of these women would have anything to do with Monica again, okay? So whatever woman stays on the show, whatever one of these housewives stays on the show, it will be interesting to see what their explanation is. Is it because they are not going to let Monica bother them? Is it because the show means so much to them? Is it because they want to defend themselves in the future against Monica? Is it because they forgive Monica? Is it because they're giving her another chance? Is it because it doesn't really matter to them in the long run? It'll be interesting because they made such a huge deal of it out at the end. I don't know. We're going to have to find out what happens in the second 2 parts of the reunion, but I will be watching. Let me know what you thought about the reunion in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.